Hello everyone, I'm Hugo.
And I'm Jake.
And this is Ask Hugo number 19.
19?
I know,
You're
I've done
really good at making numbers go sequentially.
I know, you're really bad at them. We're at Garden Gnome for you, so... Someone just asked, by the way, on your video, why don't you just count the number that are on there and restart? And I was like,
we're
what?
in too deep.
That doesn't make sense. Anyway, so today I'm here to answer more of your questions, and as always, ask me more in the comments. Go ahead, Jake.
Oh, that was nice. Maclacio, I think, 444 asks us, hey Hugo/Jake, what do you guys think of being transgender and transitioning? I am planning on transitioning and my parents threatened to disown me if I did so. I plan on doing it anyway because I'd rather work at McDonald's for the rest of my life and be happy with who I am. Thanks.
We've talked about this a couple times before, and there's another question that's coming up next.
It's on everyone's mind right now, I think, because after the LGBT, like the gay marriage thing is legal, I think this is really the next big social issue we're working towards, so I think this is a good conversation, good time to have it.
I think so, that makes sense. We're fully in support of people who are transgender, and I totally get it, you know. I don't know how old you are from your picture, maybe late teens to early 20s. I understand that you are who you are, and I want you to be able to be who you are on the inside. I
want you to be safe, too, though.
But I want you to be able to be safe and make sure that you're not in a situation where you're just fucked. Because if you're depending on your parents for money right now, I mean, I'm not saying pretend necessarily to be something you're not.
Just don't push them over the edge. It's basically the same answer I think we have for people in very religious homes that are openly atheist.
Yeah.
And I get it, and it's a struggle. I will imagine that because the gay marriage issue is mostly resolved, like 99% of it's taken care of, just some assholes now, you're going to have a much bigger outreach available to you, especially for being a transitioning person in the near future. So I think maybe those resources are coming your way. So I'm hoping that maybe people in this situation right now can hold on a little bit until there's places to go and a community.
And once you are financially stable and you can make sure you can support yourself on your own, I don't know if you already can or what the situation is, you didn't say a whole lot, then by all means, I hope you do what you want and be who you really are on the inside, and you're proud of who you are and all that jazz, and if your parents can't accept that, then that's on them, not you. And it's an unfortunate situation. It's one of those shitty social things that we just got to get over, but hey, we did it with gay marriage, even though they're always going to be assholes.
Right.
As a society, we stepped forward and said, hey, equal rights, and I think we're going to have a societal attitude shift towards trans people in the next 20 years, too. So seriously, all the support in the world from us, you know.
I mean, I wish we could help, but obviously we don't have the means to do so. So I suggest looking in your community, online as best you can, anywhere in your regional area that you think is viable for you to go to if you do decide to be just like, fuck it, I need to do this for me. And I get it, because mental health issues, especially depression among transgender people, is really high and for obvious reasons. So make sure you have a place to go and be safe before you decide to do that, even if it's going to suck for a little bit.
I know.
And vent on the internet. There's a huge community here, and it helps a lot of people.
I know.
And so this is, I don't know, just be safe. Katrina Marie asks Hugo, hi Hugo and Jake, LOL. I'm relegated to a parenthetical.
Yeah.
Okay.
And an LOL. Yeah. Good for you.
I have a question for you. Well, to start off, I'm a transgender atheist who lives in a very Christian small area in the middle of one of these fine U.S. states. I mean, we have the Amish in the area, and no, it's not Pennsylvania. I also work in a retail store that gets quite the traffic. We also have Amish here. Maybe you're in Michigan. This has been going on for a while now, but I haven't been able to figure out what to do. I'm getting a lot of horrible comments and looks. I was recently deemed Satan by a church in the area. I don't even feel safe walking at night, or even the day for the most part. I have been trying my hardest to show people that I'm just normal, nice individual who's trying to make a living. Well, I guess to get to the question, what advice would you give me short of moving? I have financial issues.
Okay, so short of moving, and I would say if you ever do get the chance, moving to a more progressive area would definitely help.
Yeah.
But assuming you can't because of financial issues, firstly, I would say if you don't feel safe going out at night,
please do not.
Do not go out at night, because there are cases of people who are transgender being beaten to death by idiots and fucking these people who feel, for some reason,
it frustrates the fuck out of me.
I don't understand why you can be so threatened by someone who's different than you and lives differently that you feel the need to violently lash out against them.
Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. They view people that are different with fear.
I know. Anyway, so as far as that, stay safe, first of all.
Please, yeah. And in lieu of that, also, like, if you have anyone that you trust implicitly, maybe buddy up with them and stay with them if your home isn't safe. I don't know what your situation is.
Yeah.
But, you know, as best you can.
As far as trying to get people to be more accepting, I mean, a lot of that's on them, but the best you can do, I think, is just be yourself and be a nice person and try and make friends with people, and hopefully, as that spreads, they might, if they're in a situation where someone was bad-mouthing transgender people, maybe they'd, hopefully, if they're a friend of yours, stick up and say, hey, no, that's not cool.
Right.
One of my good friends is trans, and they're just the nicest person in the world, whatever. The only way for a lot of people to get over their shit about people that they don't know or understand is being exposed and learning that, hey, they're just a person trying to live their life and do their thing. And I mean, I wish there was just a magic wand you could wave and make everyone accepting of people who are different, but there isn't, so the best you can do is incrementally, hopefully, change one person's mind at a time, and it'll spread. And again, like we talked about in the last question, hopefully, like gay marriage and gay rights in general, the trans issue in the next couple of years will become more towards the forefront, and people will change their minds.
I think it will.
Yeah. So,
be as safe as possible. Bryce Fincher asks, would you guys rather have a nipple-sized penis or penis-sized nipples? Explanation needed. So, as you can see, the serious note of this episode has fallen right the fuck off.
Yeah. I would say penis-sized nipples, because I would get a lot of work in porn, and I wouldn't have to let people near my real penis. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't want a nipple-sized penis. You can reduce your nipples, your penis nipples, but you can't enlarge your nipple penis.
It depends. How sensitive are they? Are they normal nipple sensitive? Because
is it a penis on my nipples, or is it just the size of my penis?
Because if someone's fucking my nipple dicks, whatever you want to call them,
right?
Nidicks, I don't know. Anyway, they're gonna get really chafed from the vaginas. Or buttholes, whatever. I'm equal opportunity nipple fucker.
I'm in line with that. I'm on board with that 100%. Asks, when are you guys going to get married?
Since the gay marriage thing,
we've gotten this so much,
and
I get it. Haha.
Ha! There are people on YouTube that talk with each other, and they're friendly,
and they're both the same orientation and sex.
So the answer is spring.
Nick Campanello says, Dear Hugo, I love it when they start them as letters to you. I never get that. I don't want it.
No, because no one likes you.
Right. Oh, I don't blame them. I'm terrible. I wanted to further a question I asked a while ago about your thoughts on the military. What do you think of how we treat the military in America, with movies like American Sniper and constant blind love for them? Even as a guy in the Army, it does bother me to see how military crazed we are in society.
It's weird.
It is weird. It's like,
and I understand
hero
why.
worship.
Yeah, I understand why, because after Vietnam, a lot of military people got treated shitty because of, the war itself was shitty. And we got to this point after that where we looked back and said, oh, we treated them so shitty, we better treat them all so fucking great, no matter what,
also,
and treat them like heroes.
The Reagan years kind of did this too.
But here's the thing. They were under a draft, and there were people forced to go against their will. Yeah. It's a little different now when you're choosing this as a job, or even maybe as a last resort. And don't get me wrong, there are plenty of super intelligent, very capable people in the military.
I have plenty of military friends that, really great people, a lot of them atheists,
Yeah, which great,
progressives.
Fine. But we shouldn't be looking at the military as this paragon of all good things and American hero, because we shouldn't, because the military has done tons of shitty things, and I think any organization that values obeying orders over all else is not a good thing to hold up. And I'm not saying the military isn't a necessity. It is. If you're a modern country, you need a military, and we happen to have the largest military in the world.
And the best. Well, we don't have the largest people, but we have the largest budget by a lot.
We have the most effective defense, let's say. I'm not saying treat people like shit, but don't treat them like heroes either. Treat them like a person who is in the military, and if you have respect for that position, that's fine, but don't treat...
Based on their merits.
Yeah, but don't treat everyone who's in a uniform like every single one is going into combat and risking their life for your freedoms, because they're not.
It's a lot of war is economic. And,
it really is now, and I could understand...
It was before... Don't get me wrong. A lot of times it was ideal, and a lot of times it was a lot of people say like religion, but a lot of it was economic as well. I mean, you don't go to war with Britain and claim independence just because of tea. It was a lot of different financial issues that we didn't want to pay back.
We haven't fought a defensive war in a long time, and from pretty much since World War II, it's all been political, and I don't necessarily stand behind that. And I understand. I do.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna... I can't.
I know.
And I'm not, like... I probably sound pretty anti-military
I'm
here.
not.
And I'm not necessarily. It's just that I don't...
The principle of our war machine I'm against. I'm not against people in the military.
Yeah, there you go. And I'm also pretty anti-nationalistic anyway. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not like, ooh, America, best country in the world. No, we have a government that functions a certain way, and it has its benefits and it has its faults, and we're just humans trying to work together and try and make this work the best we can. There's no inherent thing that makes America one thing over another. It's just a group of people with ideas trying to make them work. But I don't know. It's hard to talk about. It really is.
It's because we're the type of guys that if we see someone wipe their ass with the American flag, we're like, why didn't he just use toilet paper? We're not outraged.
No, I don't give a fuck.
You know what I mean? I wish that we had more respect for returning veterans that needed help, especially with PTSD and depression and all the stuff that goes in with just,
I think
either physically or mentally. But
I think the healthier view of people in the military isn't, you're all heroes. It's, wow, you went to go do a thing that not many people would want to do, and I respect that, and I hope when you come back you're all right, and we'll provide as much care as you need. But the whole, ooh, America killing lots of brown people, which I have seen, and it's weird.
Yeah.
That's not healthy as a country or as an individual to think that way.
Yeah, but you can buy a vet a drink or something. But
Whatever.
I know a lot of vets that don't even want you to bring it up. Like most of them are like, that's not who I am. It's a job I had for a little bit. It was an experience I went through. It's fucked up a lot of the time. So when you bring it up or salute them or say thank you, a lot of them don't even know how to respond. So really, I think it's better just to case by case, not just hero worship across the slate. Jake Bolt asks Hugo, Dear Hugo, what is your opinion on people who criticize others for watching or doing something they honestly enjoy, i.e. wrestling, anime, cartoons, model trains, video games, etc.? And do you have anything that you enjoy that others might find strange if you told them? This is a good question.
Yeah, the first thing that came to my mind is people who are on the internet like bronies.
Yeah.
And some people ask sometimes if we're bronies because we've used like pictures of characters from that show before.
No,
we're not. But I also think the people who like mock and make fun of people who like My Little Pony is a little weird because it's like, who cares? It's just a TV show. And I've seen people go overboard with it. Don't get me wrong.
Some people are nuts, but that goes for every single person. Like, you're a huge Doctor Who fan. I don't think you've ever taken it overboard, though.
No,
but there are people that like.
I've seen people who define almost their entire personality by the things they enjoy, and that's a little weird. I think it's totally cool to enjoy something and share it with other people who enjoy it.
One of my favorite things is nerding out over something I enjoy with another person that also enjoys it. Like, that's really what this show is Hugo and I expressing joy over a topic or just laughter, or especially on Unpop, where we can just, like, vomit words at each other at a high rate of speed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's no big deal.
No, I think if you're making fun of people on the internet for something they like, or in real life for something they like that's as trivial as a TV show, and it's just something they enjoy as escapism, you're a bully. You're an asshole, and that's a problem on the person who's making fun of them. If you have nothing better to do than to make fun of people for a show they like, get over yourself. On that note, though, if you let a fandom overtake your entire life, you probably shouldn't do that. But
right.
And as far as weird things I like, not really. I don't think I have anything that abnormal. I
don't have anything I'm obsessed with, so
the closest I would come to is probably Doctor Who, but it's not like unhealthy. I just really, really enjoy the show and the lore of the show because it's gone so long.
Sports, maybe in high school, I was not over but I didn't like beat anybody up because they liked a different team than me. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't think anyone would think my likes are strange. I think most people are pretty diverse and have a lot of eclecticism when it comes to shit we enjoy. And I don't know. You and I just happen to coincide on most things, like 80%.
So everyone just enjoy the shit you enjoy, and everyone stop giving people shit for things you don't necessarily think.
We're coming across as such nice guys today.
Weird.
The atheist Milos asked Hugo, Whoa, slave fucking? That's a really crass way to phrase the conception of the children of a man who made it possible for slavery to be outlawed in the first place. He's talking about Thomas Jefferson, and I don't know which Ask Hugo this was, but I know that we
talked about Thomas Jefferson, and we talked about him fucking his slaves.
Because he fucked Sally Heming.
Yeah, he did.
Right, and then he goes on to give us a bunch of reasons that Jefferson did good things, which is true. He did a lot of good things. There's a lot of lies out there about Jefferson perpetuated by social justice idiots. He's one of the greatest presidents who ever lived.
What a great last line. Anyway, so what I'd like to point out about this is I never said Jefferson didn't do good things. I called him a slave fucker because he fucked his slave. Thus the slave fucking. Now, you can say whatever you want about him. I'm sure he did plenty of good things for the country.
And also,
but you can say someone did a lot of good things and also admit he fucked a slave. And he goes on in this to talk about how he freed her. Fine.
Okay.
When they fucked, she was his slave.
Right. Like, that's not a lie. There's a lot of lies out there about Jefferson.
And I'm not anti-Jefferson by any means, any more than any of the other founding fathers. Like, I think they all have their upsides and their downsides. They all did good things and they all did bad things.
I mean...
But Thomas Jefferson got all up in that slave pussy.
Yeah. Oh, all up in it. He was just slobbering around. He probably didn't go down on it.
No.
He probably wasn't a giver like that.
She was a slave. She did not have proper hygiene. It would not have been pretty.
I probably wouldn't either. I mean, Ben Franklin fucked all sorts of hoes. Actual hoes like that he paid for. Had all sorts of STDs and stuff, talked about it. He actually consulted a guy on how to have a mistress properly if he was going to do so.
Yeah.
He wrote a whole article about it. So there's a lot of crazy guys that founded the country. They were all fucked up. Most of them were not totally morally good guys. Yeah, he had really good ideas and good policies. So did Hamilton, Madison, all people like that. So, I mean, like, fuck off.
Yeah.
He fucked a slave.
Yeah.
Sally Heming.
Fact. And I'm not saying don't let the slave fucking overshadow the good things, but don't let the good things overshadow the fact that he fucked a slave.
Extra dog! Ask Hugo. Dear Hugo, I am a 17-year-old boy from Texas. Please don't give me a southern accent, but now that I have said this, I know Jake will, because Jake is an asshole. Fuck you, extra dog! I am an atheist along with the rest of my family. My mom's on the fence. I have been a Boy Scout since I was in elementary school, and I'm about to go up for Eagle Scout Board of Review, which is a huge deal. If you don't know, the Boy Scouts require you to believe in some sort of higher power, but not necessarily God. I have been hiding the fact that I am an atheist from them for a while. All my friends know, but the adult leaders don't. I don't know what to do because lately I've been finding it hard to hide, and I'm tired of lying to all of them. I know that if I come out, I will be cast out of the Boy Scouts forever. I'm worried that if I go through with the Eagle Board of Review, they will ask me questions about God and how I worship him. I'm afraid that they will find out that I am an atheist. What I want to ask is, what would you do in my situation? And this is all a big deal because being an Eagle Scout helps you get into college, and they give you a lot of money for college. I was a Weeblo, for reference, which is above Cub Scout and below anything else important, for like a year and a half. This is all, they really were like, you had to believe in God, and I stopped going because they did prayers and shit.
Yeah, I think they've gotten a little better, because, I mean, they were really bad, but I think
Eagle Scouts, all of I know, are really religious.
Yeah, they've done some better stuff with the whole gay thing, because they had to, because society's moving forward. But as far as this goes, that's tough. You can do one of two things, or one of three things, let's say. Option number one. Lie if it's that important to you and you feel like the ends justify the means. That's on you. You get to lie and make something up. Okay, that's on you. 2, you could make some sort of stand and say, no, I'm not religious and I don't feel I need to be, and I feel that the parts of being a scout that are important to me have nothing to do with believing in a god. I believe that being a scout means this, 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 and this, regardless of your beliefs as an individual, and being a scout means being true to yourself, whatever.
If you're going to do that, I would have someone with you or have... see if you can legally record that exchange, because if you get thrown out, you can be like, discrimination.
Or 3, if you want to do something a little in between, check out some stuff Carl Sagan has said, and instead of having a religious spiel, your higher power can be the fact that the universe is governed by laws, and that's very beautiful to you, and you feel that, the fact that it's so unlikely that we all exist and that we're all made of the universe, and the universe is a continual thing that degrades and reconfigures, and that's beautiful to you.
That's a pantheistic view, and I think you could get away with that while still being honest to yourself. Good idea, Hugo.
Yeah, so you could do any of those 3 things, or something I didn't even say. I don't know, but I wish you good luck, because I really, as much as I've never seen the appeal of the Boy Scouts. That's just me. I get that it's very important to some people, and the people that it is important to, it seems very integral to who they are as a person, and like a huge thing that they do. So I'd like for it to be able to be open to anyone who wants to, and not just the religious, because that's kind of silly. Because,
it's not necessarily Christian, but it is definitely religious.
Well, I know the Mormons got a hold of it, a large portion of the organization, and since then they've kind of been dictating certain things in it. So hopefully if there are enough people like you who are against that and kind of show like, hey, you're really discriminating against people and it's bullshit, maybe they'll have to change. I wish you luck regardless of which you decide to do or none at all. I hope that it works out for you, and good luck.
Go with the Sagan.
And that is it for this episode of Ask Hugo. Make sure you ask me more questions in the comments. They can be about literally anything. I won't answer most of them, but literally anything is on the table except for the things I take off the table before we record. You can always check me out at Hugo Reloaded on Twitter.
You can check me out at Bible Reloaded.
You can check out our Patreon. We just started our new thing, which is we're going to be doing hangouts with our patrons once a month, I believe at the beginning of the month.
Yeah,
so
first week of the month, we'll send messages to all the patrons that paid out, and it'll be fun. We'll interact. It'll be a good time.
Yeah. Other than that, you can subscribe. And I'm Hugo.
And I'm Jake.
Yeah, there was an extra and in there.
That was
You're
weird.
welcome. Anyway, and this has been Ask Hugo number 19.